AITA for getting revenge on my manager after he sabotaged my promotion and then acting like I didn't know why he got fired. I'm a 32-year-old guy working in a mid-sized logistics company, and I swear on everything I love, I never set out to be the guy who gets revenge. I'm normally the keep your head down, do your job, go home kind of dude. But sometimes, someone pushes you so far that you either let them walk all over you forever, or you fight back. And in my case, I fought back so hard my manager ended up fired. Half the department still hates me, and I genuinely don't know if I'm the asshole anymore. But here's the full story, because it's a long one, and it needs the full context to even make sense. I started at this company 5 years ago as a basic operations assistant. I was the guy who updated inventory logs, checked delivery schedules, and dealt with all the stupid little issues no one else wanted to bother with. I wasn't special. I wasn't trying to outshine anyone. I was just trying to make money and not make enemies. But I guess being decent at your job is somehow enough to piss off certain types of people. Enter my manager, Mark. Mark was in his mid-40s, one of those dudes who peaked in high school football and never emotionally evolved past it. The kind of guy who thought teasing his employees was a personality. The type to say stuff like, if you can't handle pressure, you don't belong here, while doing absolutely nothing himself except walking around with a clipboard trying to look important. We butted heads early on, not because I was disrespectful, but because he hated anyone who didn't immediately bow down to him. He'd give me vague instructions, then blame me for not reading his mind. He'd schedule me for tasks that required 2 people, then yell when I asked for help. He undermined me constantly, and things got way worse when I started getting recognized by upper management for how efficient I was. Every time someone praised me, he'd come up behind me afterward and whisper, "Don't get cocky." That's who he was. Fast forward 3 years. A supervisor position opens up. This was the first time in my adult life I was excited about something career-wise. It paid significantly more, came with better hours, and honestly, I earned it. Everyone in the department, even people who didn't particularly like me, said I should get it. I applied, interviewed, killed it, and waited. A week later, I found out I didn't get the promotion. But the worst part wasn't losing. It was who they gave it to. They gave it to Jake, a guy with less than a year of experience, who spent most of his shift vaping in the loading bay and flirting with literally anything that had a pulse. Jake didn't know the difference between an inventory discrepancy and a delivery delay. I once watched him try to scan a QR code by holding his phone camera to the computer screen like it was going to magically do something. Jake didn't want the job, didn't deserve the job, didn't understand the job, but he somehow got the job. So I asked HR what happened. They told me, "Your manager raised concerns about your reliability and communication. He said you struggle with teamwork and often create conflict." I swear I almost passed out. The reason I didn't get promoted was because Mark straight up lied about me. But here's where everything snapped. I confronted Mark privately. I wasn't dumb enough to yell in front of staff, and he smirked, and said, "Maybe next time you'll learn your place." That was the moment I knew 2 things. He was sabotaging me on purpose. He thought I wouldn't fight back. He thought I was weak. He thought I was scared of him. He thought he owned my future. He was wrong. Now, I didn't do anything drastic at first. I kept working. I kept my head low. I let him think he won. Meanwhile, I quietly documented everything. Every lie, every contradiction, every instance where he blamed me for something he approved. Every time he signed paperwork late and blamed the department. Every time he left early without logging it. Every time he made us violate safety protocols to speed things up. For months, I collected everything. I had emails. I had screenshots. I had timestamps from security footage that contradicted his reports. I had everything. The breaking point, the moment that lit the fuse on the entire revenge situation, happened when Mark told Jake to override my inventory numbers even though I double-checked them. Guess who Mark tried to blame? Me. He wrote an official complaint saying I ignored protocol and caused a major loss due to negligence. If that complaint stuck, I'd be fired. Easily. And he knew it. He wanted me gone. But what he didn't know was that I had been documenting everything. So when HR called me in to discuss the incident, I came prepared. I brought hard copies. I brought receipts. I brought digital logs. I brought camera timestamps. I even brought Mark's own email approving the wrong numbers. HR sat there with wide eyes as I laid everything out. And then they asked, "Why didn't you bring this to us sooner?" I didn't say the real answer, because HR usually protects managers. But I kept calm and just said, I hoped things would get better, but this time someone tried to destroy my career. HR told me they'd investigate. And oh boy, they did. Suddenly, Mark stopped joking around. He stopped swaggering through the office. He stopped smirking. He had meetings daily. He looked stressed. He kept trying to talk to me, but I just said, please send anything work-related through email. He hated that. Then one day, he snapped at me in front of the whole team, started yelling that I was ungrateful and trying to ruin his life. HR overheard. Another nail in his coffin. A week later, Mark was terminated. The company didn't announce details, but everyone knew something happened. In fact, the rumors got wild. People said he stole money. People said he cursed out the director. People said he was caught having an affair with the warehouse clerk. And me? I just kept my mouth shut and kept working. But here's where things get complicated. Some coworkers loved Mark. They saw him as the cool boss who let them take longer breaks, ignored late arrivals, and never enforced rules. So once he got fired, they started whispering, OP snitched. OP got him fired. OP thinks he's better than everyone. It wasn't that serious. He could have talked it out. Some wouldn't talk to me at all. Others gave me attitude. And a few even said outright, you should have just let it go. One woman told me I was petty for ruining a man's career because of one promotion. One dude said, bro, you got him fired just because you were salty. They didn't know the full story, of course. But honestly, even if they did know, I don't think they'd care. People loved Mark because he made their work easier. He didn't enforce rules. He let people do the bare minimum. He let some employees leave early. But that also meant the rest of us, people like me, had to pick up the slack. And yet somehow I am the villain. To this day, people avoid me. People still mutter stuff when I walk past. And even though I'm now finally in the supervisor position, yeah, HR promoted me after everything settled, some coworkers still treat me like I nuked the whole department out of personal spite. My wife says I'm absolutely not the asshole. My dad says revenge is revenge, and I shouldn't pretend it wasn't. My best friend says I'm a legend. My therapist says I was standing up for myself. My coworkers say I'm a snake. So, AITA, thanks for reading. Tap like and subscribe if you're into wild Reddit drama. Speech Balloon got an opinion? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you would have done.